Hello everybody, welcome to another quick video. You find me this morning stood underneath a lamppost. The reason being, it's quite dark at the moment. We're pre-dawn down the shores of Windemere. Idea is for this morning, going to try some long exposure. And the thing is, I'm going to see how long I can actually handheld a long exposure shot for. I'll show you some of the tips and tricks on how I actually get the long exposures that I do. Hopefully, be quite interesting for you. But it'll sort of give you a bit of an insight into how I actually do the long exposures and how it sort of, for me, it's sort of developed over time. So it's certainly using the OM-1 makes things a lot easier. But go and sort of find a couple of spots, get set up and see what we can find. So the first thing I've set up here was set on the jetty, which is quite icy because it's very cold this morning. But I'm just doing the classic shot looking straight out along the jetty. If you hear a bit of traffic noise, apologies for that. Sort of rush hour's just started to get going, so you might get a little bit of traffic noise in the background. But yeah, I'll sort of use the jetty, just straight down the jetty and sort of have a wander up. I've just taken an 8-second shot, handheld, f5. I've fixed the ISO at 200. In aperture priority, so it's just letting me sort of control it like that, because I want to actually play more with the aperture, because I don't want everything crystal clear in the background, because it's nice to actually get a bit of separation from it. But yeah, I'll pop that up now for you. But then, yeah, that's 8 seconds handheld, and I'll show you the technique I use now. So that's sort of the area I'm looking at. So I've tried a couple of bits around with the boat as well. I might play with that shortly. But yeah, that's sort of the general area. But as you can see, sort of move it around. There's a bit of sort of lag with it because it's a bit dark. But if I just half press the shutter, you'll see this box appear. And as I actually move that around, you see there's two little, so get a little bit closer and get it to focus. There we go. There's two little sort of side pieces that go up and down, and a dot in the middle. That is the OM-1's handheld assist. Essentially what that lets me do is, once I've actually sort of started taking the shot, screen goes blank because it's actually sort of shuttering and sort of taking the shot, but that box will stay on the screen and I can see how much movement I'm actually putting into the camera. And if I can keep the dot in the centre as close to the centre as I can and those two side pieces as stable as I can, essentially the IS inside the camera, especially with this 12-100 on with the lens, will actually stop anything from sort of over blurring out. It doesn't work perfectly every time. If you've got really windy conditions, it can be quite tough. But that's like the general sort of gist of how it works. Like I said, I've just done 8 seconds. We're starting to get a little bit of light coming through now, so I can actually start stopping down. But I'm going to try and find a little composition, possibly using that boat in, because there's just the single boat here. It's not bobbing around, so that's not too bad. So I'll have a quick play now, get a little composition together. And that's not just your classic looking out through the jetty, and we'll see what sort of things we can do, and I'll sort of try a few different sort of times and see how far I can push it. Okay, so I've had a little bit of a play looking out this way. Essentially I'm going to drop the boat on the third. You've got the left posts of this jetty sort of running out. Unfortunately, the ducks have woken up, but with these sort of times it shouldn't make too much of a difference. But I'm going to try a quick test shot now. Set to f8 because I want most of it in focus. Focus about a third of the way into the frame. And we'll try this shot. This is coming up at another 8 seconds because we are starting to get a bit more brightness to it. So here we go. Just keeping those bars as steady as I can. And there we go. Because it's so dark, the camera's now doing a bit of noise reduction on the JPEG, but that's not too much of a problem. But what we're going to have now is one image that we've just taken. I'll put that up now. So that's 8 seconds, f8, handheld. Obviously we're starting to get a little bit lighter, so I'm going to start pushing in the live NDs to slow things down for me. But that's why I got here early, because there's nobody around, running around sort of essentially sort of muddy in the scene. But We'll try another shot now. I'll pop on the live ND and see if we can get to 10 seconds. So I've just tried using the live ND. Unfortunately, how it is at the moment, I can't actually run it how I want it to. So I've just done sort of a 10-second and a 13-second exposure, just mainly hand holding, just adjusting the aperture to bring the tyres to where I want them to be. So I'm at F11 at the moment, just got another shot of it. What I'm going to do now, I'm just going to hang on a little bit and wait for the light to come up a little tiny bit more, and then start throwing the live NDs in and do some really crazy exposures. We'll start at 30 seconds, and then we'll see what sort of level that gives us as far as the sort of the shapes go. But you should see things smoothing out flat. Now it is very, very cold at the minute, so what I may do for these longer ones is actually hold the camera up to my eye, because the key to this is stability. So actually having the camera up to your eye, you've then got another point of contact to actually help with your stability. You still get all the readout through the viewfinder, so that's always good, but it just helps you along a little bit more on that side of things. So let's see what we can do and get this shot in now. Right now, fortunately, the boat that I was shooting is starting to move around a bit, so I've recomposed and looking over that way towards the Langdales. But what I'm doing, because I'm going on sort of the longer exposures now, I've got one of these posts here, I'm just leaning against it, which helps with stability. You tend to find when you're sort of shooting out, you'll find naturally your body will start to rock a little bit, and essentially that will sort of introduce a bit that you can't really do much with. Locking yourself in like that, elbows tight in, and the camera right up, that'll help you actually get a nice stable image, and the camera will do the rest for you. So I'm going to grab this shot now. This is 30 seconds, literally sort of pointing that way, and we'll see if I can push it that little bit further once I've got this shot. But if this comes out, I'll pop it up now for you. Another thing that really will help you as well is, remember, the more you zoom in, the more the vibration will be accentuated. So if you can get wide, you can actually get longer exposures without worrying too much about it. It's just the physics of it, it works better that way. Now what we're doing at the moment, just wandering away from the road a little bit. I'm going to see if I can get a shot down the jetty that we're just coming up to, with Langdale Pikes in the background. It might work, it might not, but I'm going to give it a go. Again, I'm going to pull a 30-second. I don't think I'll be able to push much more than that, but the problem is it's very cold as well, so like hands are suffering a little bit. So you've got to be a little bit mindful of your conditions as well. Don't be afraid to actually use a bit of an assist as well. So if you've got a wall that you can sit on, that'll help, because you use the stability of the wall, so you essentially got half the amount of potential for shake. So that's always handy to do as well. But yeah, from here, just looking out over the pikes there, this might work from here. Hopefully it'll come out all right. Not too sure about the little hut, but it might work, possibly something like, I can't just spin you around. Possibly something like that as a composition. It might work, we'll give it a go. Like I said, this isn't going out getting killer compositions, but I think it works reasonably. I've got a bit of leading line, mountains in the background. The clouds don't look too bad. So I'll try it now, see what comes up. But I'm going to park myself on this wall here, because I think that'll give me the right sort of positioning. Just got to help with the stability. So let's have a go now. Right, so I've parked myself on the wall. I'm going to try and get the shot out there. I'm sort of going to hold it at 12mm, so get as wide as I can, which I think is going to help. There's some birds flying around, but 30 seconds you're not going to see those in frame. So literally, camera up to the eye, focusing a third of the way into the frame, try and sort of pitch that little hut in about the right place. It's coming up at f9, 30 seconds, ISO 200, and let's take the shot. And I'm literally sitting there looking at these bars and that dot, trying to keep those as stable as I possibly can. Yeah, I think that came out alright. Here's the shot. So obviously what I've done there is sort of, it's limiting myself by actually talking to anyone, but I think it came out okay. I think we're at the limits of what we can do this morning, but hopefully it's giving you a little bit of an insight as to how I do the long exposures and how the handheld assist on the OM-1 really does make a difference. I mean, up to about 5 seconds, it's sublime. You don't need to really think about it. Just keep an eye on those bars on the screen, or if you're using the viewfinder, it makes it so much easier, and your hit rate is like easily way better than anything else. I mean, I see quite a few people saying, oh yeah, you can't do those sort of long exposures, it's not going to work, and frankly it does. Hopefully this is sort of showing you can get ridiculous length exposures with the Mk2 third system that you just wouldn't get on anything else. There's no way full frame can do this, and there's absolutely no way that the stability of any other system that I've used has come close to what this OM-1 can do. But yeah, that's why I've gone with the system, and that's why, yeah, I'm fully signed up to it. But a little bit of wander, grab a couple of more shots off, I think. Probably not the long exposures, but grab a couple of shots as we're around. I have heard a kingfisher floating around, so we might get lucky with him as well. But let's see what we can find. So there we go, things are busying up now. It's getting to the point where A, I'm too cold, and B, I think I've sort of exhausted what I can get here. But if you've enjoyed the video and found it quite useful, please do hit the thumbs up button, it really helps the channel out. And if you've liked it a lot, hit subscribe, see more from me every week. But from a very still and calm and incredibly cold Windemere, thanks for watching, we'll see you again next time. Take care.
Reminiscing about the time when we first met. I don't know what is good enough, 'cause baby, little by little you wear me down. Little by little my actions won't be forgiven. I wish I could be sorry for the things that caused you harm, but nothing I can say or do will make it come undone. So even though I hate the thought of leaving you, I hope you come to terms.